Hey, what's up everybody? Dustin here with Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and today I'll be showing you how to replace the fuel pump filter on a KTM dirt bike. Now there are three fuel filters on most fuel-injected KTM dirt bikes. We've got one that is in the fuel line itself and two that are connected to the fuel pump inside of the gas tank. Now KTM recommends that we replace the inline fuel filter at every 10 hours of operation, and when it comes to the fuel pump filter, there's a fuel pressure test that must be performed at every 10 hours of operation to ensure proper fuel pump pressure. However, not everyone has a fuel pump pressure tester at home in their garage. So KTM recommends that if you do not have one, to be replacing the fuel pump filter every riding season, once every year, or at every 50 hours of operation. Not keeping up on the maintenance of these items can cause potential starting and or running issues with the bike. So to help you avoid that, today we're going to be showing you how to replace the fuel pump filter on a 2014 KTM 350 SXF. To do this job, you will need some basic hand tools, some rubber gloves, safety glasses, rags, and contact cleaner, as well as a replacement fuel pump filter kit. Now when it comes to getting this kit installed, you will need a special tool, which is the side jaw pincher tool from Motion Pro. And as always, before performing any service on your bike, always be sure to reference your service manual for proper procedures, safety information, and torque specs. Place bike on a suitable working stand. Remove the seat. Remove the harness connector at the fuel tank. Disconnect the fuel line at connector, and before you disconnect the line, make sure that it is clean to avoid having any dirt get inside of the fuel line. Remove the gas tank bolts. Remove the fuel tank. Remove the gas cap and pour out the gasoline into a suitable container. Before removing the nut and the fuel connector, be sure to clean off the area around it with some contact cleaner. Underneath the tank, remove the nut with gasket. Remove fuel connection with gasket. Then move to the fuel pump and remove the 4 fasteners. Remove the fuel pump. Next, remove the 2 hose clamps on either side of the fuel pump. Next, we can remove the fuel pump filter. Take note of the direction of the arrow that is facing away from our fuel pump. Next, we can depress the 2 tabs on each side of the fuel pump body. Then we can remove the fuel pump body from the fuel pump. Next, we can replace the fuel screen. Now keep in mind that when it comes to installing this onto the fuel pump, it may be a little bit difficult, but just do your best to be careful with it and make sure that you get it seated fully onto the fuel pump. Next, we can slide the fuel pump back into the body. Make sure that locking tabs lock into position. Next, we can install our new fuel filter. When installing this into the lines, make sure that the arrow is pointing away from the fuel pump. Before we mount this to the lines, we're going to install our hose clamps. Next, we can secure the hose clamps with our side jaw pincher tool. Before fitting the fuel pump into the tank, make sure that the gasket surfaces are nice and clean, as well as the mating surfaces on the tank. Next, we can position the fuel pump into the fuel tank. Next, we can mount the fuel connection with the gasket, but we're just going to mount it on there loosely. Do not tighten it yet. Then we can mount and tighten the nut with the gasket. Once we get these fitted properly, we can tighten the nut with gasket to 11.1 foot-pounds. Then we can tighten the fuel connection to 7.4 foot-pounds. Next, we can install the 4 fasteners for the fuel pump, and we'll tighten them to 2.2 foot-pounds. Reinstall the tank onto the bike. Then connect the fuel line. Next, we can reconnect the harness connector to the gas tank. Next, we can add gasoline to the tank, install the gas cap, then we can install the seat. Then start the machine and ensure that it is running properly. And that's it. Keeping up on your KTM's fuel filter maintenance is key to keeping it in great shape. Now, if you have any questions as to what we've done here today, feel free to leave us a comment below and we'll be sure to get an answer back to you. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more product spotlights, how-tos, and top fives. And also see our website at RockyMountainATVMC.com. I'm Dustin with Rocky Mountain. Thanks for watching and keep those wrenches turning.